there. This is intentionally a scary diagram, but it just shows you how complicated this can get. This is a reference architecture from Microsoft. So you can see there on the left that you've got the data sources being ingested by the pipelines. We've then got the storage element. We're using data lake at this point, but then you can start expanding out upon the analytics components and start looking at the Synapse, Spark pools and serverless SQL pools to start processing that data and doing different things with it. Enriching the data with AI components, cognitive services, machine learning, and then the visualization through to the business users that will be making decisions, whether that's through the Power BI elements, so producing dashboards, producing reports for certain stakeholders within the business, or pushing that forward to other applications to make decisions on, or pushing that data into another data set for another data set to kind of take advantage of as well. So they all link together at the end of the day. The important bit from this slide really is to focus on the bottom as well. So we've got the concept of the data landing zone. So it's making sure that the Azure components that are in there, Active Directory, I don't need a separate identity and access model. I've got Active Directory deployed. I know I've got access controls in here. I've got role-based access in here. I want to use that model in my data platform. I don't need to have a separate data, identity model in there. But you just confuse things and make things a lot harder to deal with. And that goes for security as well. I've got a security model. I'm using Defender. I'm using Sentinel, whatever it is that I've got in there. I want to use the same tools. I want to make sure my data is protected. So Defender extends itself very extensively into the data platform ecosystem as well, making sure that the data is secure all the way through. Even things like secret handling and the monitoring components. I don't want a separate monitoring platform to monitor what's going on in my environment. So it's all built in the same ecosystem as you'd expect. It's all Azure, it's all Microsoft, and it all plays together very nicely. The other bit that's worth calling out, we're not talking about this today, but it's the Azure Purview component. So it's looking at the governance of your data platform and discovering where you don't know things. Maybe there's a data set here that you're not entirely sure about, or someone's copied a database from here to here. And it will go out and discover, and it will bring inline all your data sets that you've got in your environment. So it's a really good tool to provide you that data governance and operational awareness of where your data is at any point in time as well. So we'll work with you to understand the architecture of the data platform services, but more importantly, what we've done here is we've brought the data sources from various different elements together into a single place. We've ingested that through pipelines, and we've stored that into a repository, a data lake, data warehouse, wherever that goes, and we're then able to streamline that data to make business decisions on this data, which I will purposely hand over now to my colleague Alex, who will then start talking to you about how you can then start unlocking the value from that data.
I'm going to quickly show you how doing something different with data can completely change the business case for a cloud migration project. And when we're talking about business value, really what we mean is measuring it in a couple of different ways. So first of all, we've got top line benefits that are around revenue and bottom line benefits that are more around profitability. Those top line benefits start around making more money, but also include intangible benefits like building the brand. A high brand value helps sustain higher prices, and it ultimately helps sustain a higher stock price for the brand. I mean, just look at Apple. Bottom line benefits are around reducing costs and reducing risk. It's fairly self-explanatory. Now, cloud migration projects normally have the majority of their benefits and business case around bottom line benefits, reducing cost, reducing risk, removing legacy platforms, reducing hosting costs, removing compliance risks, things like that. Whereas new data-driven activities are usually more top-line focused. They're about increasing revenue and increasing intangible brand value by using data to do new and innovative things. But like with a lot of things, the whole is usually greater than the sum of the parts. So often there's a compounding benefit from combining a risk mitigation and cost reduction migration with some transformational use of CRM or intelligent data to drive revenue increases. But when you've moved all your data into Azure you've got access to an amazing array of tools and capabilities for using data to deliver business impact. Those tools and capabilities range from integration and compute capabilities through the AI and machine learning in Azure ML, as well as the entire family of Microsoft Dynamics and Power Platform business applications like Power BI for data visualization, Dynamics Customer Insights for building that 360 unified view of a customer, and Dynamics Marketing for powering real-time customer experiences. And it can be really hard to know where to start. I'm a professional nerd about all this stuff. I love these data capabilities, and there are so many toys you can play with here, especially if you're in an IT or strategy role and multiple departments are kind of looking to you to deliver their new capability to transform the value that they bring to the business. So at Edit, we have a bit of a framework to help decide